Good morning, everyone. This is tape 2, Sunday morning. I came home from work early yesterday and was not feeling very good. I actually did a recording yesterday and had technical difficulties getting it uploaded. So I am redoing that post. I came home last night pretty exhausted, pretty early, about 3 hours early, actually. Did about a half a shift. And on the way home, I was thinking about how exhausted I was and why. I had went through in the middle of last month, I went through a week where it was nonstop doctors. Seemed like I had a doctor's appointment every day that week. And then I went a week without, or almost a week without, and then saw my oncologist. And then after that, I went a weekend with knowing what the plans were after seeing my oncologist. And not having any appointments. Last weekend was pretty rough for me. I'd seen the doctor on Thursday and no call on Friday with any appointments, no call on Monday, no call on Tuesday. I finally contacted them, and so going the whole weekend without any knowing what was going to be happening, but not when, was very trying for me. I'm a planner. I like to have things set. I don't plan very far ahead because I let God do most of that. But when it comes to something like this, I like to have all my ducks in a row when something's decided on. I like to know the path that it's going to take. And I'm sure that's part of my controlling personality. And I know God's working on me with that. Trying to make me less controlling and more dependent. And so now that I know what is, I have appointments all next week. Monday I have another biopsy, mammogram, blood draw. Tuesday I have church deal to do. Wednesday, I have my appointment for my chemo teaching. So where I get to learn all about chemo, what it does to me and stuff. And what to expect, how to counteract what's going on. All the info that every woman should know or every person should know when they're going through chemo. Then on Thursday, I have my first treatment. I guess that is a 4-hour appointment between seeing the doctor, blood draw, and actually sitting down for the chemo. That's 4 hours on Thursday. Then on Friday, I get my stent put in. That's the thing that they're going to put into my vascular system, my artery here, so that they won't have to poke and prod me as much. They'll just use that as a port for blood draw and for putting in medication, which is kind of nice, but I'm a little nervous about having it. Then, of course, the weekend. So I got a lot coming up. Now, as most people who know me and have been seeing me through this so far would say that I'm doing pretty good. I'm being pretty strong. Well, my motto so far is, it's all good, God's got it. But I think some of the things that are exhausting me and making me so tired is like, when I see myself in the mirror, I'm starting to try to picture myself what I'm going to look like bald. I am starting to wonder and kind of worry about just how sick am I going to get, or am I going to get sick? All those unknown things that if we let the devil work in us, he'll keep putting these thoughts of doubt and fear and worry in our minds to stop us from trusting God and to get us upset. So I've realized that part of the reason why I've been so exhausted is because of this fight with those thoughts, that spiritual fight between the negative and the love that God has for me. So every time I get those thoughts, I counteract them by bringing up a praise song or finding something to thank God for, which there are numerous, I'm going to go into that in a little bit, are numerous things that I am looking at in the very near past in the last several years that has brought me to this perfect place. But this constant battle in my mind, not letting the negative overcome me, doesn't mean that I'm not feeling things, because I am. But I'm just trying my best to have little groups of tear parties or pity parties or emotional outbursts, however you want to put it, so that I can go through the majority of the time and stand on the love of Christ and what He has done for me, and knowing that He is going to walk me through this no matter what I go through. Now, I know that I have to go through this and I have to experience all these things, and experiencing them does not mean that I have to let them rule me. So, right now, I'm not really sure exactly how hard I've been hit by this yet. I know there's a lot more emotions and a lot more battle to come. So, I just keep going one foot in front of the other right now. So now I wanted to get, I wanted to get some praise reports and let you know how God's wonderfully put me in the most perfect place to have to deal with this. And that is, 2.5 years ago, I moved from Boise, Idaho to Connecticut. And that was a God thing through school. I was searching and ended up on a website and got accepted into college within a month here at University in New Haven in Connecticut. And within 3 months, I got accepted in February. And by June, February, March, April, May, June. By June, I had sold everything and packed my car with everything I owned and moved to Connecticut. So that's how God brought me here. And I moved into a place in West Haven, which was close to school. And then after about 6 months, I realized I didn't like that area. And God found me a place in Hamden, Connecticut. I had been trying several churches in the West Haven area and did not find a church home yet. So when I moved, I started searching again, and I did find a church home that the instant I walked in, I felt this is where God was brought me. So I walked in there, and I've been going there now for a year and a half. Have developed some very important relationships. Have become part of the leadership team as leader of the women's ministry and volunteering in many other areas. I had a couple from church had offered me through several different situations. First, they were going to be out of town for a month, and I was going to come house sit for them. And that somehow ended up working into their not leaving at all, and I'm moving into their bedroom. I failed to mention that I live in rooms. I don't rent an apartment. I live in rooms. Where I lived in West Haven was a bedroom on a third floor in a multi-family home with shared bathroom and kitchen. This last place was a very large room in a private home and shared kitchen, and I had a private bath. Here I have a private half bath and a bedroom in the basement, private entrance, and I shared the rest of the house. But this couple had ended up offering me the room pretty much free of rent. They wanted to help me get through the last of my schooling because I'm in my last, or trying to finish up with my last semester. I have 2 classes to go, and I'm done with my master's degree. But through this, that ended up being set in place before I ever found out I even had cancer. So God took me from Boise, Idaho, where I would be traveling back and forth to Salt Lake City or Seattle for cancer treatments, to a place top of in the country, Smile Cancer Center here in Yale. And I'm very blessed. God, I think, knew what was going to happen. Now I know He knew what was going to happen, and He orchestrated to put me in the best place. He brought me to a church family that has been a lot of support, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them. And then has brought me to a place that's going to not only help me spiritually, because this is a wonderful Christian couple, it's going to help me to grow in my walk with Christ, but it also is helping me financially, be able to pay for all the bills that are coming. And now that I'm on hiatus from school for a while, I'm on leave of absence, and I will be having to start pay that back here very soon too. So God has just orchestrated this so beautifully. I can't give Him more praise to be able to say that my God cares enough for me that He has moved me across the country to put me in the best place. Has given me a wonderful family in my new church home. And I couldn't be more loved ever in my life. And even though I'm going through cancer, I know that God is with me. The Holy Spirit lives within me, and Jesus walks beside me every step of the way. Well, my 15 minutes is about up, and I just hope you are having a blessed, wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and we'll be posting again probably after the biopsy.